Motion Picture Statistics for 1920, with apologies to Scientific American. Photoplay, October 1921. Due to the tremendous progress and growth of the motion picture industry, all information heretofore concerning the films has been too general. It has lacked accuracy and mathematical precision. Therefore, for the benefit of historians and scientists, we present herewith, accompanied by illustrations, all the vital and important facts connected with motion picture production for the year 1920. If all the lorgnettes with which society matrons of the 1920 films haughtily inspected persons to whom they were introduced were amalgamated into two lorgnettes and placed together, they would form an arch sufficiently large to permit the passage of a load of hay. The united force of all the kittenish back kicks given in 1920 by film ingenues when greeting people would be sufficient to heave a bale of hay weighing 1.5 tons over the Woolworth Building. The combined weight of the metal cigarette cases carried during 1920 by fashionable leading men in the lower right-hand waistcoat pocket would be equal to that of Trinity Church. The total distance covered by chases in the comedy films of 1920 was 247,816 miles, or the approximate distance between the Earth and the Moon. If all the curls of the 1920 screen ingenues were made into a single volute, they would form a hirsute tunnel large enough to engulf a 7-coach passenger train. Comparative pictures showing the marked increase in the amount of hair salve used by cinema actors, male, during the past 6 years. The figures included Vaseline, pomade, bear grease, gelatine, and all the various unguents for making the hair sleek and glossy. If all the jovial slaps on the back which took place in the gentlemen's clubs of the 1920 society films were concentrated into a single unit of energy, the force of the combustion would be sufficient to fire a 12-pound cannonball from New York to San Francisco. The amount of tears shed in the close-ups of leading ladies during 1920 would be sufficient to extinguish the conflagration of a 3-story dwelling. Comparative figures showing the number of 1920 film convicts who were innocent, having been unjustly condemned or preferring to serve time in order to shield another, and the number who were actually guilty of some crime. The number of errors in spelling and grammar appearing in the subtitles of 1920, as compared with the number of errors in the complete works of Ring Lardner. If all the waxed mustaches of society villains in the pictures of 1920 were placed end to end, they would reach from Wall Street to Yonkers, with enough hair left over to stuff 8 sofa pillows. If all the heavy black cigars which financiers and plainclothes officers chewed and rolled about in the corners of their mouths to denote willpower and strength of character were merged into one cigar, it would be 554 feet long, or approximately the height of the Washington Monument. The amount of energy expended in 1920 by wealthy villains in luring pure and innocent working girls to their luxurious bachelor apartments would be sufficient to hoist the New York Public Library 31 feet from its foundation. The lingering fade-out kisses used as climaxes in the 1920 film dramas would, if fused into one sustained osculation, last 72 years. That is to say, if a couple should begin this composite caress at the age of 6, they would be 78 at the breakaway. The amount of money stolen from private library safes in the screen dramas for 1920, compared with the present national debt of Germany, of England, of France, and of the United States. The relative amount of great artistic triumphs and supreme masterpieces produced by D.W. Griffith, and by Rembrandt, Rubens, Velázquez, Leonardo, and Michelangelo. Block pyramid of the principal ingredients of motion picture plots, showing both the exact and the relative number of times they were used in the photoplays of 1920.